You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. I'm your host, Anna. I'm here with my other host, Paul. I'm here with a once host and here again, Rick. And we have a great special guest on that you may recognize the name of from another episode. You also might recognize the name from a few spots that he's done in the past, from the Drew Carey Show to Jag, Days of Our Lives to Pistol Feet, all the way over to Phantasmagoria. We have with us, well, I could say Don Gordon, but really we have with us David Homb today. Hey, David, how's it going?
Don Gordon. I like that.
Yeah, nailed that. Nice.
As long as we don't mention drain cleaner anytime tonight. What I just
Everybody gets one. All right, we all used them up last time.
I like it for a minute at the beginning there, Anna, where I thought you were just going to be like, you might recognize this guy from one of our other episodes, and this left it at that.
You have to pick which one of us is the person to be talking about today. Yeah. Yes.
That's funny. That's funny. When I joined, Cindy Patello, she has Mystery Manor. She started way back, and so she'd asked me to join that for a little while, and so it wasn't just a couple months ago. And so I said, okay, here, walk me through it, and had her on the phone, and it's a cool little site. She had that way back, nice little gathering place for, game folks to talk about gaming. And, but she said, don't put your name, make some name up. I want them to guess. And so I said, Dark Room Dawn. I mean, how easy is that? It was 3 weeks later. People were like, oh, no. And I went, do these people play games? Do they really?
Any of them?
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
So everybody here, go ahead.
I was just saying, Dark Room Dawn sounds kind of like a grinder name, honestly.
It wasn't my porn name. My porn name was Donkey Boy. So, I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. Wow, hung. Very nice. So, yeah, we those of our regular listeners and those who aren't, because this was one of our episodes that has had the highest numbers. I mean, from that episode till now was our episode with you, David Homb. So for those that were here before and new people were probably wondering what the heck you've been up to. We talked to you, gosh, was it way back 2 years ago almost? It wasn't that long ago now, was it?
It was 2 years to the virus. The virus was last year. So it was the 25th of September, and then the virus started in January or March.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Because I know, we haven't had a chance to catch up much since then. I know you were thinking of putting yourself out there a little bit more after we talked to you last.
Well, we had to stay home for a year, so I finished my book, finally.
It didn't go well, yeah.
Right, yes, staying home for a year. Yes, great.
Just
1 year.
So you went the path of the book. Well, that is a great path to be taken nowadays. It's a great at-home activity. So tell me a little bit about that.
I'd only been working on it forever, and so I didn't wear my mask at home when I worked on the book, just so we're clear. I did it mask-free. Yeah, the book really, I'm really pleased with it, and that's why it took me so long, because I just always want to change, and some damn ADHD, just always want something change, a little better. Such a perfectionist, and so originally it was just going to be poems on paper, pretty damn boring. So it really, what it turned out to be, I'm so happy with. And like I said, I just got into, well, I haven't really promoted it yet. I think I've given away as many as I've sold, which is it's half the fun for me anyway. So I just got in so I could make any changes, and I changed the bio a little bit. I'm going to ask you all this because it was when I was going over this with my sister on the bio.
Oh, you mean your sister with the master's degree?
Yes, the one with the master's degree. Not master's in life, I think it carries a little weight. I can chew gum and walk, I haven't had a car wreck, she'll hate hearing that. So anyway, I didn't. I found a big, when we were getting to the final stage, I flew up to Oklahoma to her place for a month, and I had found this small little suitcase, and it just said David's Writing, and I just grabbed it, didn't even look in it. And so I went up there, and so I have the whole second book written, because I started writing before I left Texas, right as I was leaving Texas, and it was all the way, the journey. So it's different. It's very different poetry, but it's like prose and poetry. It's some really good stuff too.
I'm curious, what inspired you to begin to compile this? Like, did you always write poetry and it was more putting them all together, or did you sit down and decide to kind of write a book of it?
No, I've been writing forever. I mean, at the college courses and extra courses, and I've been writing forever. I was a script reader for a long time because I just knew the writing, and then got hired to do, rewrite some scripts. I'm doing one now for some people, but I've been writing forever. This is just the first time I've actually let anybody read anything. But before I even left for California, I'd written a couple plays. Well, I don't know, 3-4 plays, one screenplay. But always I've written, according to my parents, which I didn't really realize, since I was like 7.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. So, and this is the first time you're sharing it since you were 7.
First time.
Oh,
and these started. Well, I was writing one night, and Victoria noticed, and she was like, "What are you doing?" This when we were shooting the game. I said, "Oh, right, all right. It's a good outlet for me." And she read, and she goes, "That's great." I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of writing for the game, kind of like a Don channeling, whatever. I don't know, demented guy he is." And then that's where it all came from. Most of it was from then. And then when we had the year of being walled up, I wrote some new pieces to give us some congruency. And then my sister, when I was up there, I had gone out with my dad to do something and came back, and they had that suitcase that said David's Writing all over the living room floor. I was like, wait, these are not part of that. And they went, "Oh, these are great." And I said, "No, they don't fit. That's different. That's a different journey." And but it gave me a good idea at that point. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna," and you'll see when you look at the book. I had 4 people today tell me they just read it, and everybody seems to have really liked it, really enjoyed it. Anyway, so I picked 3 or 4 of the poems, and I said, "This is just a little sample of the next one." Basically, I have the next one written. I have over 275 pieces written from the time I left
nice.
to the time I left back to Texas.
So
yeah.
You're almost saying it's a complementary to, if I was to have a collection and I was showing off my Phantasmagoria big box, this book would actually go in the collection. It's connected with the game in a way then.
Well, some of it goes through. It's not what I wrote.
If you did it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, I like this. I love collections. So you're just giving me another thing that I want to add in for my photo ops and things.
Well, you shall see soon. I get these Friday. It means your package will go out on Saturday. And I wanted to ask you, Ann, how old are your kiddos, your boys?
Oh gosh, 25, 21, and 11.
Oh, well, I was thinking like 7 or 8. Okay.
But then ask Paul. You should ask Paul that question. Then you've got a younger one.
Yeah, that's right. I got a 7-year-old boy.
Where are you at, Paul? You're not in Canada, though, are you?
No, I'm in Colorado. I'm in Boulder-ish.
Oh, well,
vaguely
good.
Boulder. Yeah.
Well, get your address. I'll send a book to all three of you.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Oh, wow, man. That's really nice.
As a boy, I have some cool stuff that is really for like 7 to 12-year-old boys. Some cool stuff. So I thought if I'm sending a package, I might as well load it up.
Oh yeah, anyway. Well, we got a 7-year-old and 11-year-old fits right in there. So I mean, Paul's 7 and my 11. So.
Well, I'll put some in for that. Your other one's 25. I got some old Playboy magazines I collected. I guess I can send those.
Also, you know, actually, I
those are fine for anybody. Yeah, too. That's yeah. Popular choice, David.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I love the articles.
Oh, don't we all, Rick? Don't we all?
I've got the one from 1960, my birthday, October, and there's no nudity. There's one shot of boobs. There's a side of a butt, and that's it. They hadn't been able to even do that yet. So that's how far they were in 1960.
Wow. Yeah, there's just a couple years past showing some ankle at that point.
Yeah, we showed more in Phantasmagoria than what Playboy started with. And now on network news, you see much more than Phantasmagoria on network TV.
Oh my, yes, you do. I was talking about that sort of like how it started off. You couldn't use any swears. There was no nudity, and kind of how over the last 30 years it's changed. And then it was like, you can have it, but only after this time. You can have it, but only on special cable channels. Now it's just like, you can have it.
You have to be 18. Okay, 16. Okay, 12. I mean, it's nuts, you know. But let me finish with the book. So I went ahead and put 3 or 4. That is like a preview of the next book. And then there were a couple things I did in the book that my sister, she's very linear, you know, and I am not. Mm-hmm. And so she would say, well, that's not normal. I go, according to who? Well, it's not typical. Well, you're talking to your brother. I don't know who made those rules. I'm making these rules. It's my book.
Right.
I'm really proud of it. But then, like, since I got control of it, this was another thing I wanted to do, which I was overridden, but not now because I have control. But there were 4 blank pages at the end of the book, and to me, that's wasted space. So the 2 in the middle, I'm gonna say. I just sent those in. Preferred other reading I'll recommend to you that I really enjoy. And it's like Steve's book and Elaine's book, Tannenbaum, Ken's.
Right, of course, Sean's book and everyone else in there. Yeah, Ken's book. Roberta's book. Yeah.
I sent those in, and then I got an email from Amazon. It says, well, there'll still be 4 blank pages. It's just the way we do it.
Right. Aw, darn it.
That's all right. That was the one thing I wanted in there. And she goes, you don't recommend other people's books in your own book. I said, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And, of course, I was overridden, but now I've overridden all overrides. So now it's correct.
Yeah, writer. Yeah.
I get some of our best books have come from book recommendation lists, whether in a book that we've been reading or just something that the author recommends. So it's definitely out there. More and more so lately, it's actually becoming quite trendy to recommend current books within a book.
Yeah, I've had about 6 people total that have sent me a message that they had just read it, and some people that I, really respect too, and everybody seemed to have really loved it. I mean, I would think so, because if I didn't like it, I would say it. I'd still be working on it. It'll be out next year.
Like, not ready. But no, I mean, gosh, if you're, especially being a perfectionist and a workaholic kind of a personality, you're like, if this is ready to go by my say, then it's definitely above standard at this point for, what's to go out there. I respect that for sure.
Your own impossible standards, let's say, if it met that, then we're ready to receive it.
It just floors me that to think back to what I originally was going to put out, like 20 poems on blank pages, black and white, and just it's nothing. I mean, it's a production now, which is something I heard a couple of people say. It's like a whole production, and that's much more me. So, well, let your mom read it, because your mom was a teacher of this. So,
I thought you were saying that to all of our listeners in general.
Everybody's mom should be reading it as long as they can handle this. I think it'd be good. It's a good recommendation.
I think any of you are going to let your mom read it. You read it first so that you can do some explaining. It's not, well, my uncle, he's 88, and he's in East Texas, and Mom sent him one. And he called up, and I said, "Hey, Uncle, what'd you think?" He goes, "Well, tell you what, I read it twice. That ain't poetry. I mean, that scared the hell out of me." I went, "Well, yeah, you don't know the game." "Yeah," I was thinking, who's going to read that? It's not a love poetry book. I said, "I didn't say it was a love poetry book."
It's a special kind of love.
Yeah, it's a different kind of love.
Yeah, very, very different kind of love.
You scared your poor old grandfather. Unbelievable. You probably gave him loose stools about it.
Yeah, this is, I couldn't say, "Hey, this is a big time makeup sex." Kind of love. I just, I let it go. I understood what he was saying. Well, give it to some of the cousins. Let them read it, and I'm sure they'll all like it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think your target demographic was 88 years old in East Texas.
Who just got done milking cows and everything.
Well, don't worry, because I'm pretty sure Paul can verify that when I write, I have absolutely no target demographic whatsoever.
That's also an angle. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
There was one comment, and this from somebody that y'all know, respect, and big game maker, and said, it's got such double meanings, because I read it twice, and you get some. It's you don't see on the first reading, because you get it. It's almost shock, or you just get it like that. But there's so much more meaning. He goes, and the real hardcore gamers that really know the game, they're going to get a bunch of stuff that the average person probably not going to understand at all.
Layers. Yeah, that excites me for sure.
And Rodrigo did a fantastic job illustrating this book, because that came, I don't know if I even had that going when I talked to y'all.
No illustrations. I think you read us a bit of your works, but we didn't talk about illustrations.
Yeah, I read you my favorite, "Awake I Dream." That was my favorite poem, but at that point, it was not called "Awake I Dream." It was Dark Soul. I don't know what it was called. Anyway, and it just had my picture on it and kind of a cloudy, dark thing. And then Rodrigo said he's been a friend and a fan and a friend for a very long time, and I had noticed he was winning all these art awards, Artist of the Year, South America and stuff. I went, congratulations. He goes, "Well, do you have illustrations for your book?" And I said, "I hadn't even thought of that." And he goes, "Can I do it? I mean, I'll do it for free." I went, "Well, no, I mean, I'll cut you in on the deal." And he goes, "Absolutely not. This will be my big deal." Well, I didn't let him do it like that. So all I sent him was the title of the poems. He did not read any of them. So when you look at the book, it's uncanny. It is uncanny, the work. And the work's very dark. It's just, it's wild. I mean, I couldn't have had him read the poem and write and draw the pictures so good.
So he did the drawings just by the titles of the poems, because that in itself is a really interesting, almost, I don't want to say experiment, but you know what I mean, just a really cool concept. There we go. Did I get that correctly? So you basically okay. So yeah, that's really cool. Just that alone is fascinating to see what an artist does with just a fraction of a sentence.
When you look at the pictures, the art that he drew, it is literally uncanny. I mean, it freaks me out even still. Wonderful job. And then you're allowed to have one color photo, and one of the awards he won was the butterfly picture, which is the cover. And so I said, "Can we use that?" Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so that's how it became the title. And I went, "That's Awake I Dream, the butterflies. That's it. That's it." All came about just bam. Yeah, I didn't even have all the artwork from him by the time I left to go to my sister's. I got the last ones up there. Even she thought he had already read everything. She goes, "You shouldn't be letting people read everything." I go, "No, nobody's read anything."
Wow.
That's how wild it matched. So I'm just so lucky to have such wonderful you guys. I mean, this whole game world, you know, Mom says I've disowned our family. Your whole family's a game world now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's insidious. We take over that way. But you know what? It's in the same way that the game that you were in and these early games took over our whole lives before. It's just a back and forth communication between all of us.
Right. Well, everybody really cares about everybody, and they're honest, and they're, I mean, I hear stories of some stuff. I haven't experienced any of that. And people talking, "Oh, well, so-and-so, what?" And I go, "You know what? That's showbiz." I mean, it was worse than Hollywood. What you're telling me right now? Yeah. Shame on them. Believe me, it was much worse in the movie and TV business. It was just so cutthroat. And so just get over it. Let it go. Out the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing, this is one thing I wanted to ask you. So when I found that bag of all the poems, there was also a folder in there that I took up to my sister's, and it said David contracts. I was finding contracts and stuff, and I couldn't even remember because I just went from job to job to job. Once I started working, it was about just a couple months after I was there. I worked constant, and I couldn't even remember some of these jobs. I'd look at the contract and I'd think and go, "What the hell?" And one of them was Necropolis, and had a bunch of information on that. Yeah, but of course I never saw it or anything. But that was in '94, I think. It was a year before Phantas, a good year before. But
before, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was a big thing. It was all these actors, and it was the first SAG contracts because Victoria and I were the first in the AFTRA union. Now it's one union. I think she was contract 1. I was contract 2 for AFTRA actors. But for the SAG ones, that was that electronic arts, I guess it was, Necropolis. And, we went and signed up. All of us actors went because it's like the first union contract for this new media. None of us even know the computer, so we don't know what the hell. But, and I was like number 1,600 and something. And my 2 buddies that went with me, and we sit there for a while, and then we decided to go smoke a joint and throw the Frisbee on the beach and just blow it off. And then after a little bit of that, I went, "Oh, wait a minute. I didn't move out here in a van to smoke a joint and play Frisbee on the beach. So I'm going to do it. I want to get back in line." And I ended up getting the role of Sam Jones. I got the contract. I showed up and we did it. It was very experimental. I mean, I remember very little about it. I only worked for a couple of days and I wore an LED suit and a big, had a green screen. But it was obvious, there was a lot of, like Phantas, there was a lot of experimenting going on while doing it. And then, so my sister looked it up and she goes, "I just looked it up. You're not in the credits." I went, "I'm not." She goes, "No. Sam Jones, it's got somebody else's name." I went, "Well, then they recast." And she goes, "Well, you can't put that in your bio." I went, "I am." That was a big deal. I have the contract. I have one of the first SAG contracts, one of the first, I think, 6. And I said, and then knowing I got, the first AFTRA, I said, that doesn't really do anything. But once I'm dead 50 years from now, it'll be really cool.
Right.
So, and she argued with me. And then I got the book from my friend here, and she left it out. I was like, well, son of a gun. So I was going to put it back in. I don't think I have yet. Do y'all think I should?
Well, you were in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you get it and you shoot it, then they recast. I mean, whatever, I wouldn't do it if it was just a simple job, but that was a cool thing. And all these years later, I never even knew I wasn't in it.
Was that something that you did after Alien Species then, or was that before that?
Oh no, this is 93. This is way before any.
So you're going way back there. Jeez.
Well, this is really funny. So then I see another little contract, but it wasn't union. Had me wearing like a Greek robe and a note from my agent, and this was in 92, maybe 93. And it says they're going to sign a union contract for this. It's something called New Media. I don't know what it is, but they want you for it. It's Rand McNally that makes maps. It's like an educational thing. So I went and did it. I mean, it was just a couple of days. I don't remember what I did. I do remember it was like standing like a statue and saying facts or something. And I guess it was supposed to be union. I guess it was. I don't know. I have no idea, but I found that my agent didn't even know in 92 or 93. And I had a pretty good size agent. He represented, Jay Leno and quite a few people, Liam Nelson. And he goes, there's something called New Media. I don't know what it is, but they want you for it. So I've been doing, game type stuff since, I guess, the beginning. All different. But I had forgotten all about that. So I thought that was good trivial history.
Yeah, I mean, if you were there, you were there. And if you did it, you did it, whether you did or not. It's kind of like if you think of Dave Mustaine, he was the bassist for Metallica when they did Kill 'Em All. And when they released the album for various personal reasons, they deleted all of Dave's bass tracks from the album. It doesn't mean that he didn't play in it, though. And it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Yeah, while I was at my sister's, I said, "Now watch. There's the show on Prime. It's about making Back to the Future. Eric Stoltz. He was the actor. They shot half the movie, and then decided to put Michael in there. I go, I guarantee you, Eric Stoltz talks about he was in Back to the Future. So,
yeah, there you go.
Well, she didn't listen to me. It didn't make it in the book anyway. So
darn, but yeah, we back you.
It's on the record here right now. It's you can always point people to the
put it in
the clip if you're saying that. Yeah,
put it in.
It's official here. It's official.
Yeah, we say put it in. The bloody protested. The whole world is watching.
I think it's a good trivial pursuit.
Actually, yeah, that's good. That's worth a piece of pie for sure.
Don't you talk about pie.
Are you hungry?
I have a pie. Yeah.
Anyway, so tell me what's anything new that you wanted to ask me about? Because I'll never shut up. You don't make me.
I have something just random and stupid to ask because Paul Curtis from Phantasmagoria 2 has kind of been out in the public again lately. Delightfully so, and I was it just made me jot down on my little pad here, just as one of the little, candy stupid questions. Have you ever played Phantasmagoria 2 or like watched a playthrough or anything like that? I was just curious, your thoughts on it.
Yep, I didn't sit and play it myself. I played it with others and watched them, and then watched playing it on the, online. Let's play Phantasmagoria 2. So I watched it a good deal, played some of it. I was extremely happy to see Victoria on it, do his interview, because I've had so much limelight and I hadn't seen much of her at all. So I know it was an exciting thing, and I had a ball watching her. I could tell she was a little nervous, but it was. It was a lot of fun to watch her do her interview.
Yeah.
Have you haven't seen her probably much in a little while, so that would have been kind of neat.
No, haven't seen her at all. I haven't seen her at all. When we parted ways, we were very good friends. But she definitely had one path she wanted to go on, and me, I owned 17 different paths. So we just we left it clean like that. But we're very good friends, and she was very complimentary. I was glad to hear she didn't say he was one crazy motherfucker. He actually was very complimentary, and so it was fun to watch her interview. It was. I was laughing a good bit. They said, so the hands that came out of the bed, it was like 4. No, there were 6 hands. She goes, that must have been 3 people. Yes. 6 hands. Every member. That was every crew member. Every crew member went, oh, I want to do it. That was the whole crew under the bed.
That's it. Did you have any idea how much the Phantasmagoria would be a part of the rest of your life when you were going through it, or did you just think it was just another job? Because it seems to me like it's coming into play all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it seems just about as popular now. I mean, and it's funny because it keeps sprouting up in different parts of the world. I mean, all of a sudden, there's a whole area of the world that's just all over it. No, we neither of us thought that at first. We kind of figured it out 2/3 of the way through when all the reporters started flying in from all these countries. Wow. And then, and Roberta and Ken had, took us out to dinner and tried to tell us, but didn't know. Had I really known, I would have taken my entire salary in stock. Big payout was coming. But I didn't know. Neither did she. But we did about 2/3 of the way through, and we actually were sitting there one night and said, I think she said, this is like way different. I mean, I had done a lot of movies and a lot of stuff by then. She's not like anything you've done. I went, this is not like anything I've done. And all these people are flying in from Japan, and this is I didn't know it would last like this. It would have been a big flash off the get-go. And so, but it's been cool. Gave me a whole second family, which has just really been wonderful. In fact, that's why I'm developing this whole project, which I can't say much about, but I'll tell y'all more than anybody else knows. This is going to be a perfect way. I sit here and I get calls, and always have, just a few here and there. They always come in batches. I got like 4 in the last 2 days, voiceovers and things. And like I told one person, in the early days, I started in 36 movies. I just did a lot, and it was quantity. It was just work. But now I'd like to do quality over quantity. Not about just to sling stuff out, and not. I hope that doesn't sound snobbish or.
No, I respect it. Yeah.
And anyway, there was one game that was so nice and wanted me to tell them what it would take for me to be in their game, and that it would give them a big status symbol type thing, come out with their first game and all that. And then I said, well, no, just tell me what you got to work with. I'm pretty damn easy. But so finally it just came, I was like, okay, I just looked at what scale minus 20% was. I mean, I tried to, and then then dadgummit, and then I finally found out their budget later, and I mean, the number I gave them was 3/4 of their entire budget. So I felt like an idiot. And I told them, I said, why didn't y'all just say something to me? You know, I mean, you know, I feel like a dodo now, but they were super nice. But I'm just gonna, you know, I just sit around and get all these, and I mean, I'll definitely do some performing. I'm definitely gonna do a movie this summer.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Movie. I know. I like starring in movies, doing movies, but
yeah.
That's why I come up with this project. It was about 4 a.m, and I was doing my interview with Stefano in Switzerland for Nerd 3.0, the radio. Nice. And there were things that y'all had said, and, you know, a couple interviews past that I heard, and I heard these things said and just thought about it later. That's a compliment. It's odd. I never thought of that. And then right in the middle of that interview, all of a sudden, it was just as clear as a bell. What the best thing I could do, and really, really give back. I really just want to give back to the whole gaming world community. Really want to leave here and with a big thank you, which is the whole reason I came up with this, and it's going to be awesome. I wish I could tell you a whole bunch more, but I can't.
Yeah, I think it's fun to speculate, and you know, a good teaser is worth its weight in gold as well. I'm excited that you have new projects on the horizon, and about a new film. That's cool. I mean, I was thinking you could do a movie night and maybe, you know, pop on some Street Soldiers or some of The Last Bluff, and, you know, give it a go. But something new would be fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a great director, and he's got his film that he wrote and produced, and he produced some big stuff in Hollywood. But he got out of Hollywood as soon as his wife got pregnant, didn't want to raise a family there, and I don't blame him. And been a professor at a college, big college, for quite a while. But, you know, we've always stayed in touch, but I hadn't talked to him in probably 4 years. And then I thought of the idea. I actually got a notebook out right then, time of night, 4:05 a.m., interview with Stefano. I have the idea. I have this is perfect. And then, I've just been working on the development, a lot of research, and just doing it all myself, and then having to lose most of November and all of December with, you know, hospital stuff with Mama Garris. But everything in its time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm certainly grateful to have you back around. I think it's really good for the entire game community right now. Fans of the classic games, a lot of us are, you know, give or take, you know, 40 years old, or you want to say early 30s to late 50s to really broaden it. But, you know, a lot of us are at that point where we grew up playing the games that we love, and now we're able to reach out to the people in them, or you know, make them ourselves, or whatever the case is. And like for myself, after we, I think shortly after we began talking, if not right before we talked, and you already know this, began making a game, of course, an adventure game, and you know, of course, it's got some Sierra vibes, but it's just, I was going to say that the point is, it's really nice having you and Paul and Dean and just everybody that's, you know, all the way down to the developers like the Coles and Scott Murphy, and just everybody that's just kind of around and supportive and willing to throw in a comment or a retweet or things that go a really long way to fans or fans that are also developers, because that's all developers are. So yeah, it's really cool that not only are you know, that you're around, but like you're into it and present. I think it's really good for the entire community.
The whole thing that this project's going to do is I'm going to sort of like the global jam that's going on. That's going on for the few weeks. But I looked that over very well yesterday and today. I was talking to Kate, and And that's what I told her. I like the way it's like you really unite the world for a couple weeks, all in the same mindset. I don't know how you make a game in 48 hours, but I don't know how you make a game anyway. I mean, I could write one, but I couldn't program it.
It's amazing what they come up with in a quick period of time there.
Yeah, I looked at some of it and I was like, damn. It says, damn. Mm-hmm. Took me 4 years to do a book of poetry. Damn, they did that in 48 hours. Wow.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah. Slice of pizza and a rail, please. Let's go. Let's get it going. That's the whole point. That's what my whole project's going to do. It's really going to bring the whole game world united. I mean, it's really going to bring it together. And the best thing about it is I just have to be me.
Yeah, you're here.
Just let my ADHD go and be me, and
yeah, it's
going to be fantastic. I wanted to start shooting 4 months ago, but I've got a couple. There's very few people that actually know it all. Less than 5, but I've known them for many years. They're very successful in Hollywood for shows and movies. And one of them called me a week ago because they knew I lost the time. I mean, I had to completely come to a dead stop. I was sailing. And then, most of November, all of December, I got Mom home Christmas Eve at 9:30 p.m. I told the doctor, we've spent Thanksgiving here. We've been here forever. And so 9:30 p.m. Christmas Eve, I got her back to the house. So, and then we just slept. We slept all Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Oh, exhausting for sure.
But Peter called me and he said, "How you doing?" I'm talking and he goes, "David, I know you so well. I know you want to be you want to be done with the pilot already. But look at all you found out. Look at all the research. Look at all the other pieces that are coming in, because it's like my book. Because what I originally thought is just really developed. And that's my ADHD. You see it and want to do it. But this development has been great. It's going to be so solid. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really awesome. I have no doubt. And so I got some good people, and soon all of you will know. Maybe I can break the news on your show or something.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll take you up on that for sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Anyway, so I've been working on that, and then I've been doing everything. I mean, I bought the domain, the copyrights, there's a lot of stuff that goes into developing a project. I mean, I know how to do a movie, start to finish, all the way through distribution. This was a little different. And that's when I really realized the quality of my really good friends, which I would have never even thought about, because I hadn't talked to Peter in 4 months. And the night I was sitting there going, okay, I have to have a really good producer, because I have to really trust this person and know they know their job big time. Right. And I'll be damned if he didn't send me a Facebook message for the first time in at least 4 months, if not 6. Hey, David, I heard an interview. He might have heard y'all's interview. I don't know which one he heard. I heard an interview with you. Hey, brother, sounds like that's good. And I went, that's funny, Peter. I was just thinking of you. And so he was the first one I told. And I mean, he produced some Jim Carrey movies. I mean, big stuff. But just the nicest person. But I never met somebody so detailed. And while I'm telling him, I can hear him typing and all that. And he goes, let me get back with you. And then, I mean, it was first thing the next morning. He called and he goes, I got 6 questions. And he asked me the 6 questions. 4 I had answers to. And the other 2 I had to get back that day. You know, can't dolly. And then when I got back to him, he went, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm in 100%.
Right away.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to, because we didn't know each other like that. I mean,
you thought you might have to explain yourself a little bit more, but he's just like, nope, right here. I'm on board. Let's do it.
Yeah, I figured I would get, Dave, that sounds great, man. Anywhere along the way, you need help, you give me a call. I'll shoot you some advice or give you, tell you this or that. And but it was much more than that. So I'm excited. I'm so damn excited. I'm ready to shoot first thing in the morning, although we're thinking maybe into February, but definitely March.
Speaking of time frames, when do you think we might be able to learn a little bit more?
Well, he already, because his producing already didn't pitch it, because first thing I said is I don't want to pitch, I don't want to tease, I've been through Hollywood, I've done a lot of things, I want to own this. This is my retirement. Plus, I want to be in control because I want my vision. That's really, I know the game world and I know what'll turn out. And now let somebody take control and just flub it all up. And he called me one day, and this is about 6 weeks into it, and he goes, "All right, look, got an offer. I mean, sight unseen and it was a good offer." I went, "No, did you tell?" "No, I don't know. I produced, and my brother produced for them before." And so I went, "Absolutely not. That's not the venue. That's not, no." "Okay." I said, no, not that. So that was encouraging, because that was, it was a good offer. It was a good offer. I was a nobody starring actor. I would have been over backwards for a tenth of it. But I ain't gonna do it. I don't care how many shots you give me. I ain't doing it. Not virus shots, I'm talking about.
Where are you gonna shoot this thing at?
All over the world.
Oh.
So I will meet all of you at some point. I'm gonna get to meet everybody at some point.
I love this.
Yes. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have so freaking much fun.
Well,
I'm so much for so many people in the gaming world and for the gaming world in general, but it's going to help so many people. And that's what Peter said. "Are you doing this for you or for?" I went, I'm going to get everything out of it. Are you kidding? I'm going to have so much fun and be myself and travel and I got mine. That'll give me everything. And I think he understood pretty clearly. He used to come and watch me teach in Hollywood. He was one of the producers and directors. I had a lot of people that used to come and watch me teach, and I would never charge but $20 bill. You come to class, it's a $20 bill, and I would teach 4, 5, or 6 hours. I mean, nobody would leave.
I would have loved to have been there. My gosh, worth way more than $20. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, before I even went to California, you paid $150 for a 2-day piece of shit. And I took them all. I took every one in New York and Hollywood, and found a nice article in the Variety magazine of a reporter that was in the class one night. I never knew who was there because only 30 students got to be there, but I mean, there would be oodles of people. And the reporter, and then at the end, I said, "Any questions?" And he said, I've seen a lot of acting classes. I've never, ever seen a class like this. And I said, you want to know why? Because about movie number 14 or 16, all of a sudden I had the same thing as my show. All of a sudden it just hit me. I went, because I couldn't figure out why I just only went so far, because a lot of it's natural talent, but there's only so much, you can learn from a text or a technique. And there was just a barrier And then it dawned on me that none of the teachers, and I took lots and lots. I took some very respectable ones too. I mean, and they weren't probably actors, but none of them had starred in movies. Mm-hmm. And I was on number 4, and plus starting such low budget. You know, you got one take, you got to get it right. You got to, you know, or 2 takes, and just the whole making of it is much different than, you know, where it got up to, much more bigger budget. But you can't learn that. You don't learn that in a class, which is what I started incorporating, because no one was allowed to participate in the class. This is the old days, all right, kids. There was no cell phone, there was no computer yet, towards the end, and VHS. And so I always had 2 cameras in there, one wide master of the stage, and I wrote all the scenes for every class. And you had to bring a tape. If you didn't bring a tape, one guy that came one night and said, "Oh, I forgot my tape." And I go, "Well, take your 20 back." "No, well, dude, can I work out?" And I go, "No, if you're not going to record it, I'm going to put all this energy into it. You need to be able to look back and see what you did." Mm-hmm. And because none of you take notes. I used to take notes. I'm old school. Notepad after notepad. I couldn't read them. I couldn't read them later, but at least I took notes. And yeah, he ran out and, you know, got a tape, because there was a Blockbuster down the road. You know, the old school store, Blockbuster. So yeah, that was so much fun. Even Carl, the one with the axe in his head in the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he told me a story, and it's not verbatim, but he talked about, you know, I saw you teach at Tracy Roberts' studio, I think it was, prior to us ever meeting. And, you know, that was I think it was the first probably night I was there. It was 80-something people in a room that's supposed to hold 35. It was just crazy. And he goes, "And you were up there?" And he goes, I remember going, "Damn, this guy he's good." But I mean, magnet. It's like a magnet. I can't stop watching and listening. And he goes, "And then you pull out a little bottle of bourbon, like you get on the airplane up there, and unscrew it, and you're just teaching away and tipping the little bottle up." And I went, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did go through that period. Yeah, that phase."
Oh, yeah. Well, you were always you were busy. You were on the go before you even did Phantasmagoria. There's an interview in the official game guide saying, "Look, you've already been in 17 movies before that point." And really, there is absolutely nothing you can do school-wise that can give you that much experience. So what a privilege to be able to teach some of that knowledge.
Yeah, and that's all stuff I'd learned on set. And so much of it I didn't see, you know, that I did, whether it's a co-starring or a starring role. But, you know, you had 2 takes mostly on those first 3 or 4 films, 5 films. And, you know, and what time to have to learn, of course, that budget. I'm glad I probably didn't see them. But, you know, I wanted to do good. But, you know, you got to learn what the camera's seeing, and you got to learn what your angles are. And there's a lot to it, which is what that writer was talking about, because the actors get so into they get into emoting, or they get into acting, you know, and don't try and play the moment, live it, be the moment. And if there's a camera, you know, don't stand there with the back of your head, because the other guy's getting all the screen time, you know. Because a lot of the directors, too, at that level, they didn't do, you know, much directing like that. It was just about the technical stuff. It really wasn't about, you know, performance at that time like that.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, and this guy is in books. In fact, one of the actors sent it to me from New York a while back. And this guy, Andy Mulligan, he's like Ed Wood. He's in the same top 10 with Ed Wood. You know, it's making those not even B movies, C movies. I mean, this one after another. And that was the first movie I got, Monstrosity. which Stephen King had a book out, Monstrosity. So I called home and told him I just got the lead in it. Turned out not to be his book. It was
darn it.
Yeah, something else.
Actually, that's probably a good thing. His movies weren't that great then anyway. Not that he made them.
Would have been better than this one, I'm telling you, because but it was a bologna sandwich, chips, and an apple, and a drink, a meal every day, and $50 bill. And I got that. I had like $6, so that got me situated. I got my answering service, which is what all of us had, and pictures and resumes and gas for my van, my condominium on wheels. But there's a scene where the girl's dying, and it's my girl. It's the big scene, and the monster ripped half her guts out in the hospital. But she's still alive, of course, and I'm supposed to pick them up with my fingers, like that's what we'd all do, and
naturally,
and say, "Baby, I love you. I love you." And it was very emotional, very tender, and so didn't even get through the first take, and he said, "God, David, come on, what are you, Greg Garbo? Twice as fast." I'm like, "Twice as fast?" It doesn't seem real, it was my first film. He goes, "Oh, no, it'll play fine." I went, "Okay." So I pick up her guts and go, "Baby, I love you. I hate to see you die." And okay, bye. Wow, that seemed a little fast. So I'm sure the movie was a monstrosity, although it's been in some magazines. It's one of his. I think he died shortly after that, but it was fun. It was fun. You just don't learn that stuff in a class. There's just so much you're going to learn in a class, and a lot of it is too the pacing, your vocal inflection with your pacing that gives it that real quality. Not like Dawn where you're screaming and like a little banshee all over the place, but that was different. So yeah, I think it'd be fun to see some of these movies if I'm going to ever find any of them.
Yeah, that'd be a fun night there. Now, I have a question. When you were doing training, I heard you went to a stunt school. Was that to prep you up for working in movies and stuff?
That was before Street Soldiers. Because when I went into audition for Street Soldiers, I was still living in my van. In fact, I parked my van wherever we were going to be shooting the next day. But I had long hair. It's like almost to my elbow. The first thing they did was cut all my hair off. And dorkiest look. Of course, I didn't know the script at the moment, and that's what he is, a rich, dorky kid. But but I was also in shape because I lived in my van. It was my condominium on wheels, and I had a President Gold membership to I don't even think they have President's Health Club anymore, but that was the big thing in America. And so I went there every morning, did my hour-and-a-half workout, and got cleaned up, and so I had that whole routine, but it was a fighting karate type movie. And so the leads, we were all put through Kim Kahana stunt school for the 6 weeks. Yeah, it was good. We got up to, I can't even believe, I would die. I wouldn't make it till the morning, but at this point, but we were doing like 150 roundhouse kicks with each leg, and 150 of these, and then upside down push-ups, and I was in pretty good shape. 10 was all I could do. I don't even know if anybody did more than that. Those are really hard. I tried when I was really drunk not too long ago. I didn't.
How many did you get to?
I didn't even make one.
Yeah. Don't say that. We're on the record now.
No, 11. I think I did 11. Yeah.
Improving with age. I love it.
I love fictional push-ups.
I'm so good at those.
It was fun. So, yeah, I had a pretty nice physique now then, but now just you can Photoshop it. We didn't have Photoshop then. Now Photoshop it.
Yeah, we're all in great shape now.
Seems like a waste if you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want the close up. You can Photoshop the rest of me.
So in all the films you've been, I'm curious, have you ever been tied to, not tied to, bloody, that's a bit arcane, but connected to a pulley system? Have you ever been, floated around?
No, let's see. No. I mean, I did some stunts. The stunt school thing was great because, I mean, afterwards, I just changed my Houston SAG thing because it had me listed as a stuntman. Towards the end at Hollywood, there were a lot of stunts. I did, diving through a window for an NBC movie of the week or something, and they put you on a pad, shoot you off. But nope, I never got dangled. I did jump off
through windows cooler. Yeah, shot through windows way cooler than dangled.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I did jump off a bridge. It's the 6th Street Bridge. You see it in a lot of films in Hollywood. Jumped off that puppy. The truck was only moving 10 miles an hour. It looks like it was moving much faster as 18-wheeler, but it still hurt because it wasn't padding. They had some kind of padding. Yeah. So that was ballsy. That was fun, and I was ready because if we had to do it again, it was like an extra $300 or something. So, but it was one we got it right the first time. I should have missed the truck.
Right? Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, for an extra $300, I'm gonna miss this 18-wheeler. Get me another $300.
It's hard, to catch it. They're not that big.
That's a hell of a way to spend $300. I'm just saying.
But the stunts were fun. Most of it was fighting. We got me and my buddy Andrew. We get hired together a lot. He's one of my best friends, and then we just fight in a bar, and it's all fake glass, the bottles.
Right. Candy.
So blast. It wasn't even like work. It was so fun.
That sounds fun. Did you ever get actually punched in the face, or vice versa?
Yeah. Nice. You get hit, and you get kicked. You get hit and get kicked, and like I told Carl, I didn't really put an axe in your head, you little wimp.
Do you ever have a director that asks for it, that wants a shot with an actual contact, or are they not allowed to?
No, I'm surprised some of those early ones didn't.
Yeah.
No. But it happens.
I don't think you can really ask for it, but I think there are some people, like the actual stunt people, who want some sort of contact. Maybe not like punch full strength, but like just to make the contact so it looks real.
Right, right. Jumping off point.
Yeah, a lot of the cool punches, like the stomach and stuff, you get a little. It's not a full out thing, but I was just, I was blown away because by the time I did the Channeler, I think that was the first film where I was cast first, and that was like such a cool feeling. Wow! All right, cast first. Like just a moment. It was a moment for the time, and then it was like a topless scene, and I was blown away because I sat there and was there for all the auditions, and the gals just came in and took their tops off. Like I was like, I've been dating my whole life. I 3 months into it before I go, come unbutton your shirt, and they're just in there flopping them off, and like, wow.
A whole new world.
Wow. Dedication. That's dedication. But a lot of those movies, it's sex and action. That's what sells them.
That is a lot. I go back. I love movies from the 60s and 70s because they're just in the 80s and up until sort of about 1993. There's a lot of sex and a lot of action, a lot of good stuff in there.
So cheeky, yeah. I think that was cheeky. Very cheeky.
Yeah, appropriately used.
Yeah. Well said. Well, we're getting on in time. I want to make sure that we hit all of the points. I do want to bring up briefly. I see that you had a bit of a theater career. When was that mixed into the mix, and how did you end up playing Jim Morrison?
Yeah, I only did 2 theater pieces because I did theater from the age of 12 until I left Dallas. I was acting or producing or both in a 2 a month. I was in a lot of theater, but that was the acting, and then I was doing a lot of last couple of years before I left. I was doing a lot of the off-Broadway tours where you 5 states or whatever. Did Rocky Horror Picture Show and Oklahoma.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to play Riff Raff for
yeah.
like 4 performances. I loved it. And then I had to play Frankenfurter, which, that's hard. Tim Curry is freaking, you can't copy. You can't even come close to him.
Tim Curry.
It was fun wearing the clothes, but I couldn't sing it like him. Riff Raff was fun. Riff Raff.
This was like 7 degrees of Sierra here, getting Tim Curry from April Night.
Oh my God. We went to, that was a thing we went to in high school. We'd all go and smoke and drink up and then sit there and throw bread and squirt water. And I mean, you did the whole thing back then.
The experience.
Yeah, the ritualistic.
But anyway, by the time I got to Hollywood, I wasn't interested in doing any theater unless it was something special. And there were only 2 that I did. And this was by the time I let my hair grow out, not nearly as long as it was, but pretty long. And I know, they were doing the movie The Doors. I saw it in the trades.
Great movie, yeah. Val Kilmer there.
I know. Well, he's brilliant. I love Val. But
he sure is.
I tried to get an audition. I couldn't get one, and then I got. I can't remember. I was thinking from Herbie. There's a really famous musician, jazz.
Hancock.
Anyway, yes, yes, and his wife. I knew them. Pretty well, and his wife was. It got cast and they needed Jim Morrison. It was 12 women and Jim Morrison.
Very cool. Yeah.
And Jim's voice on certain songs, back then, I don't know about now, maybe a karaoke with a few shots, I could do it, but I could match his voice and really good. And so it opened with me singing "This Is the End, My Only," and did that whole song a cappella. And then 12 women. And that was the casting director for Drew Carey was in the audience that night, and that's how I got to guest star as Jim Morrison on Drew the next week.
Wow,
nice!
What a cool connection! And to guest star as Jim Morrison, that's amazing.
I'm telling you, and I'm driving there because I was nervous because I'm not a singer, and thinking, oh my God, tonight's the night, and And then I turn on the radio, and the first thing is, well, there's an anniversary. This is the anniversary of Jim Morrison getting arrested on an airplane for stealing liquor off the cart in the plane. So let's play This Is the End in honor of Jim. And that's my speech. I walk out, I sing that a cappella, and I go, I got arrested today, stealing a little bottle of liquor on a cart on a plane. You believe that fucking shit? Oh. That's how the play started. I went, that's awesome. Got to be too big a coincidence. I mean, that's just that was a trip. It made me confident as could be. I knew it would turn out great. It just took away all the nerves.
That was so cool. Universal.
Tripping wild, but yeah, it was cool. Well, any other questions about? It don't have to be gaming, anything. Anyway, Peter and I, he's got his film at Sundance. We're writing this film together. We're going to do one this summer.
For Sundance, that's kind of interesting. Have you done a film for a film festival before
or
anything like that?
He's got his in Sundance right now.
Oh, okay. It's in Sundance. Oh, okay.
So, no, I never made it to Sundance. I had 3 or 4 at Cannes. Of course, that's in France. So did I go? No, didn't get to go. I did go to Cannes years later, because I wanted to at least say I was there. There's no film festival going on, but at least I could stand there and say at one time. It was cool. So yeah, I'm super happy and proud for him. It's a very cool accomplishment.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really excited to hear more about this mystery project. Like Anna said, there is fun in the speculation though, so I think we can all kind of enjoy speculating what's possibly going on, but
It's going to be fantastic. It's really going to be fantastic. I mean, and I am the last one in the world to go touting like this.
Yeah, so we know there's something going on for sure. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. I think, yeah, I'm just looking forward to reading your book right now. That's on my mind.
Well, I talked to Rudy the other day. It's the first time Rudy and I we've talked before, but typing and I said, you know, and anymore, I've gotten to where I want to definitely if it's business or I've talked to so many of you for so long that damn it, now it's free on Instagram or FaceTime or whatever, and so I want to at least hear a voice, not for this finger typing out for years, or see who I'm talking to. I love it, and so I told Rudy, you know, let's do on camera and talk. Oh, okay, and so we had a great time, and I told him, I said, listen, I'm developing a little project, Rudy. I'm producing it myself. I'm still a few steps away, although I'll probably bring people in. And I said, I think I can get most of what I need done if I sell a couple things, and like my costume and my script. You know, I have a script, and it's got Roberta's notes in red all the way through it, and then Peter's in blue and mine in black. And Rudy said, man, I mean, you're talking thousands. I went, really? Okay. Well, and what would you suggest? And he goes, dude, I'd put it in an auction, and then maybe, you know, there's a big world of people. He goes, half the people that are your fans, David, they don't know how to reach you. You're not even in touch with them. There's a huge chunk of people out there that would love to be able to get a hold, but they have no idea. They're not in our, you know, Facebook groups. They're in other parts of the world and further away. You know, I think Asia too, and whatever. But so I don't know. It just sounded like too much damn work. So
yeah, fair enough.
I got plenty to do in the meantime. I'll figure that out as I go. But I'm going to make 5 copies of the script, and Stefano is definitely going to get one because he's such a big help. He's one of the ones that knows about my project. So, and he and his wife are so supportive. They gave me some calls, and just really, they're more hyped than I am, and I'm damn hyped about it.
I love that. Well, so, good.
I will definitely let you know first, and maybe we can do just a little special something and maybe break it on your show.
Wow, I'd really appreciate that, and of course you'd be welcome to come back anytime. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask Rick too before we start wrapping things up today?
Well, I want Rick to be there. If I'm gonna break it on your show, I want Rick to be there.
Rick, you gotta always come for the David
stuff for a moment.
Yes. Sorry. I suck at podcasting. I think I'm going to stop doing it.
Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing, podcasting?
No.
No. He's a guest on our show tonight. Yeah, he's a guest with us tonight, just like you're a guest. I'm here to entertain him as well as entertain you.
Well, I thought he turned it on and went home. Well, I appreciate all of you taking the time with me again. Very much so.
Mutual.
After we get off the beat 14 things, I'll go, shit, no, damn it.
All the things you got to do. Well, we really appreciate you coming back. I feel quite privileged, not once, but twice, and hopefully a third time as well. I love hearing about what you're working on. Your enthusiasm is absolutely contagious, and you've done so much in your life. I think we could just talk about it for a lot longer. So I do appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
Well, the next time we talk, then definitely we'll have some hopefully really nice news, some big news, and I don't think it'll be more than a few more months.
Yeah, well, we got your book to tidy us over. That should be plenty.
Right. Yeah, I had a couple people call me or send me messages about, because when Victoria did her interview, they were like, caught some people like, whoa, wow. I had a couple people ask, would y'all do one together, because y'all haven't done one since the game came out. And I thought that would be something. That would be a special night too, probably. Maybe something really special for the
absolutely
the Ladies Guild, or for the beer club, or I don't know, whatever, something.
You're telling us that'd be something, I tell you.
Yeah, that'd be something to line up later, I think, maybe.
Something to talk about for sure. All right, well, Paul, I will let you do your magic here.
Oh, all right, yeah, all right. And I'm going to say things. Yeah, all right. Sorry, sorry, David. Sorry, everybody. I have to say things now. These are internet things that get said at you at the end of a show. So thanks for listening. Please exit, in a single file line. No, please check out our Facebook page, or check us out on Facebook. We're a page in a group. You could find us on Twitter at CGG Podcast. Say hello to us there. I mean, it's mostly Anna. Say hello to Anna there. And what do I normally say? Instagram. We're also at CGG Podcast. So at CGG Podcast. You're probably gonna find us if you just hammer that in. If you want to say hi to
just go out the back door and yell it into this.
CGG Podcast.
three times into a mirror or something. Start playing rerun. If you want to say hello to me on Twitter, it's at Phantom Fellows. Send us an email if you would like, mail at classicgamersguild.com. Become a Patreon. Wait, no, that's my note to myself. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you to all of our Patreons. You guys are the best. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting.
Your note to yourself was to become a Patreon?
There was some dark times a few months ago,
I love all the audience. I love them. All of you guys out there.
You got David's up too. That's for free. Ours is too. It's optional.
It was free for you.
Yeah,
I'm still paying for the love, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. Free.
I mean, it was just a spit in the palm, but it was free.
For an hour.
Oh, it's getting out of control. Oh, the other thing, wishlist our game. We're making it a point and click adventure game. It's called The Phantom Fellows, and go wishlist it on Steam. Maybe you could find it there, or go to thephantomfellows.com and wishlist it, or do stuff. I don't know what to tell you. Buy it? No, not yet. Don't buy it. Yeah, you can't buy it yet. But download the demo and wishlist it, and thank you. And we're all done. Oh. And if you, Anna, I've rambled again, so I guess
that's okay.
They should.
I'm going to jump in with a little plug. Check out David's book, Awake I Dream. And if anybody's made it through the rambling, congratulations. If you tell me the title of the book and send a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, who's ever first will get a signed copy of the book, Awake I Dream by David Homb. And anybody else who misses out on that will get a personal hi from me and sorry you missed it. So that's pretty special too. So we'll include the link of where to buy the book underneath the episode. And David, is it on Amazon?
It's Amazon. Yep.
Yep.
They don't have poetry. I don't know what category it is, but Awake I Dream.
That's
it.
So go get it.
Audiobook?
And then if you want a signed one, if you have Facebook Pay set up, because I guess that's where everybody shops on Marketplace. I just set that up yesterday, and I sold 3 or 4 of them, because that way they can go and send me a private message and pay the $25.
So if you don't win, you're not completely out of luck. That's great news.
Well, David, as much as I love books and I'm really looking forward to getting a book, I think the purest experience would be to put it on audio and narrate it yourself.
Yes, that's on the list.
Good.
There you go. Perfect.
I love it. Oh, I so want to. So after I read it, perhaps I can hear you read it to me, and then I can get a whole different perspective again with timing and everything. That's super exciting. See, this is why you hang around past the mumbo jumbo of our ND bits. You get all these good, and this isn't even Patreon. This is we're just putting this out here, guys. So Paul, finish us off.
Well, look, now I gotta do the whole thing again. All right, guys, we're on Facebook.
Well, I'm filling my glass then. You're gonna do it all again. I'm filling my glass.
Oh God! All right, that's it. We are out. Thank you guys for listening. We love you all. Don't do murder.